ourselves to say. But there seems to be reactions and counter reactions, and people not just complying. One is still, trying to understand what are the issues, and that's the reason why that we've gone out to see how we can discuss all that on the program today, this morning on ITV. Well, we'll have Nowita Igbotako, comrade. Yeah, human rights activist now, Comrade Nowita Igbotako.
Thank you.
Human rights activist, serial author, and of course a conflict resolution expert. We also are expecting Motari Osaige, who is the chairman of PUWOF, that's the Public Work Volunteers in Edo State here. And so that he can join us on the issues today. Nowita, welcome to the program one more time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're looking at COVID-19, examining social compliance with government policies. Now, it seems that people are really not complying with some of these policies, like, that you must go out with a face mask. Yesterday, we told that the task force, has started their job, and mobile courts are roving around the streets of Benin. So what do you think is really the problem?
Thank you so much. To begin with, I think most of our people don't see the COVID thing as a war situation, because never in the history of some people, since they've been living on this earth, have they been confronted with kind of situation that people have to be locked down, shut down, you don't go to your work and all that. I think one of the problems that is making people not to comply with government directives, one, the issue of welfare, their welfare. We have some persons whose nature of their jobs is to come out every day, to go and apply their trade, and there's no palliatives, so to say. The people see themselves are being ignored by government, in quote. I am not saying the federal government is not making some efforts. I'm not saying the state government is not making some efforts. But some of these efforts, some of these welfare packages, some of these palliatives, they are not enough. And they are not enough in the sense that even in my community, I cannot point to one street or one quarter where somebody will say they have seen government palliatives. They've seen some support from government, some safety net and all that. I think people are being driven by hunger, because the fact of the matter is that you need to go down and see how some of our people survive in this country. As I said, some people daily survival, that will give them what to eat, that will give them a meal. And when there is nothing like that, they are being shut down. What do you expect? They have to come out.
Yeah,
but I'm not saying that even if you are coming out, some of the little directives that the government has dished out for us, that you should comply with them. At least at the end of the day, as I said when I started, we're in a war situation. People should learn to at least put, even if you cannot afford a face mask, your handkerchief is a defense. It's something you can use to ward off the COVID virus or something. I think we should all wake up and use the opportunity to talk to our people that in spite of lukewarm attitudes, or some of our government officials, because we speak, some of these have not reached the people, that they should, in their own interest, in the interest of their family and their loved ones, they should just comply anyhow, so that they can survive this emergency situation.
Okay, we're looking at some of the relief packages. We're going to have that on the second belt of this discussion segment, the second belt of the discussion segment on this program, whereby we'll have Honorable Desmond Ugbo already on standby, and also we're expecting the Honorable Commissioner of Information, Mr. Paul Ohombamo, so that he can bear his mind on some of the issues that we're going to be looking at that. Now, Nowita, the problem or the talks around, around making people not complying with some of the social issues as it relates to fighting that it's probably due to the level of education of a given set of people, the level of enlightenment of a given set of people. But you will recall that one of the greatest challenge that America has today as it relates to the COVID-19 is the fact that when the whole thing started, a lot of people threw caution to the winds. I'm using America now because most of us, we agree that America level of intelligence, enlightenment, and
superpower.
Education is more than all this.
You understand? Different dimensions.
I dare ask again, what is really, do you think is really the problem?
Well, for me, as a masses-oriented person, I think ignorance is an issue, and poverty is an issue, my brother, because the number of persons that are below the poverty line, there are more. We have hundreds of millions of people who are under the poverty line, and you agree with me, Evans. When somebody is hungry and he doesn't see something to pick and eat, the next day become angry. Then you want to tell that person that you need to put face mask, you need to do this and do that before we get a daily meal. So I think this time calls for a very, very drastic, concerted effort on the part of government and the people. This is the time our politicians should come out. It is not only during elections or electoral campaign that they will come out. Our politicians should come out. Kind-hearted individuals should come out. Philanthropists. This is the time. This is the time that they must come out and assist the people. Give them some things that will make them stay indoors.
But we are beginning to have that now.
How many people have had them? I don't want to mention my community. Nobody has seen anything. Nobody has any palliative. Nothing has happened. In fact, government officials are being accused. Have allegedly been accused of diverting some of these things, of this material. So what are we to? I know a neighbor that is not too far from my house. Thank God my house is fenced and things like that. There's somebody that is close that is doing some meat pie business somewhere. That guy depends on that thing to survive, and they have to move out. You understand? So the greatest thing that could happen to a society is poverty. You understand? Poverty is an issue, and as we speak, in other countries of the world, we have friends in America, I have brothers in America, we have relatives in Italy and all these places. Those countries are completely shut down, and they make provisions for their citizens. Everything is organized. We are talking about Donald Trump just now. Donald Trump is not the one that has been caught napping. The government of Nigeria is already caught napping. When did they start all these panicking measures?
Yeah, but you cannot say...
No, we're happy that what we have is endemic, it's not pandemic.
Yeah, but no, it's already pandemic. The issue of COVID-19 worldwide is
worldwide. But in Nigeria, well, I would say,
extent,
it's endemic.
Yeah, but again, I think there's call for worry.
Yes, there's call for worry.
373, despite 11 deaths, but there's still call for worry.
Call for worry.
There's call for worry.
And, okay, like what used to be done during electionary campaigns, you see some of the politicians, they will go into neighborhood and all that. How many politicians have you seen since the COVID menace started? The COVID challenge.
Yeah,
it's part of their jobs to move around to, as I said, it needs a concerted effort. It's not only government that should be doing this. Everybody is, as I said when I started, it's a war situation. Every hands must be on deck to get this thing, curbed, to get this thing terminated, or to get this thing removed from our atmosphere. So, what is wrong? You some politicians jump into their cars and start moving around the neighborhood. Public address system, we are talking of ignorance, illiteracy and all that. People can move around. We cannot wait for government to do everything. But I have just said, it's my opinion, that the government of the day has not done enough. That's me. The government is already caught napping, just like what is happening to Donald Trump, okay, unfortunately.
I will leave that to you.
It's my opinion.
You said it's your opinion.
Yes.
All right, I'll leave it to you. But let's quickly see what is happening in Lagos State concerning the social compliance that is expected by the people We understand that some neighborhoods in Lagos State for nights now, it's been a sleepless situation whereby hoodlums, allegedly, have taken over, believed to have allegedly taken over the streets of Lagos, robbing here and there. Now, why is it that people can't just key to this reality of this COVID-19? I mean, you have total lockdown. Then, of course, you still have some people going out to rob on other people. Why is that they can't just believe on the reality of it?
Well, in a society, everyone, in a society, you see all sorts of characters, all sorts of people, and what they do, they catch on situations to do their negative activities. It is unfortunate because what kind of spirit do you think drive kidnappers, for instance? What kind of spirit drive armed robbers? They don't have conscience. They don't care a hoot about their next neighbor. Their level of selfishness is unimaginable. That's what is happening in Lagos State. In a pandemic or endemic situation in Nigeria, in Lagos, some people are still catching on such a situation to now be ravaging and rampaging in the name of armed robbery and all that. Is unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It is to call on our security agencies to be more proactive, more than ever. It's an opportunity to catch some of these hoodlums, because maybe because of everybody is locked down, they don't have the opportunity of going out to do some things because they cannot rob people after people are locked down and things like that. They're not catching on the situation. I think it's unfortunate. It shows the level of cruelty, inhumanity that some persons could just keep to, and it's unfortunate. But we are calling on the federal government because we are in the worst situation. The federal government should be on top of this matter. Should be on top of this matter. The Lagos State government should be on top of this matter. Neighborhood watch and all that. Thank God we have a Motekun that is being, it has not become full blown now. Everybody should come out. It's an opportunity to fish out some of these hoodlums, some of these enemies of the people, some of these people who don't want anything decent, who are catching on any opportunity to invade our privacy, to invade our resources, to invade the meager resources that the Nigerians are coping with at this very dangerous period, at this very trying period, at this baffling, anxious times. It's unfortunate. Okay. I think the federal government should do something extraordinary by... I think I heard the Inspector General of Police saying something recently, that some detachment of policemen have been drafted.
So those trouble.
Yeah, so I think that it's a good one. It's a fantastic effort from that area. And that is to even encourage our governments all over Nigeria. It is Lagos today. It could be Ogun. We hear they're being inflicting to Ogun now. It could be Edo tomorrow. So we are calling the government in Edo State to make sure the security network is on red alert, so that people will not now be a double tragedy, a double barrier situation whereby people are combating coronavirus and now battling insecurity and hoodlums.
You just made mention of Edo State, and of course you talked about the security agents.
Yes.
What seems to have developed very recently is the allegation, on the streets of Benin, whereby it's been alleged that some policemen, at times they go around in mufti, at times in uniform, they just harass people. You have food vendors. For example, somebody called me 2 days ago and said a certain woman sells bread at Mission Road Junction, around the King Square area. That one morning the policemen just came, swapped on her, and they packed her loaves of bread and all that. Now, for these items, commodities like this, they are essential. This also may also want to discourage people from adhering to some of these, policies that government is trying. I want to address that.
Yes. The other day, because of the lockdown, I took my wife to town, and some of these things, we heard them. People would all swoop on where people are, doing the essential things and catching, swooping on people. What is happening? I think what is this proven, what they call them?
The pull-off.
Or pull-off or something. I think the Edo State government should beam a satellite. Because they are supposed to, they're the ones directly involved in this thing. And some policemen, and we're calling the Commissioner of Police this, for me, this is a worse situation as I started.
But you're not trying to to place an allegation against the people of here.
No, I'm saying some of them are culprits. I don't want to mention names. Some of them, they will even apprehend you when it's not even COVID-19. They will block you somewhere and say, I said to all, we leave you alone.
Yeah, well, we're not
about that. But at this
time,
time, the Edo State government and the security people in charge of security, Commissioner of Police and all of them, it's an ample opportunity for them to call their men, hold a special meeting. It is crucial so that you don't inflate, as I said, in the situation of Lagos. You don't now do a double-barrel thing. People are combating hunger, combating coronavirus, and now some people are now going to make their life more miserable. That will be terrible. We want to call on the Edo State government. We know the government is trying its own way. For me, the government they've not done enough, but we are encouraging them. People are dying, people are hungry, people are being oppressed in this town. Those who are supposed to make sure things are going well for them, the Edo State government should call a meeting and call all these people and speak to them. This is not a time to be seizing people's wares, people's goods. These are essential things.
Yeah, let's say essential things.
Yeah, essential things.
Items, yeah.
I just said somebody selling bread. People need bread to take tea in the morning, and we have been told that a very hot tea could even suppress coronavirus.
Well, that's
coronavirus or something. So at some point, when you are going to take bread, that is the heart of cruelty, unimaginable cruelty against the people. I think we should not encourage that.
And I think the bottom line is that for people, people should also know their left from their right. Yes. I mean, if you know some of these policies, how government puts it, and what government says, what government did not say, even if somebody is trying to take advantage of you, you can rise up and tell the person, no, government did not say you should seize this item. So you also begin to also even educate some of these law enforcement agents too.
Evans, by God's grace, I'm a veteran. I'm an activist. I'm not a motor tout activist. I went through the mill. Those who are watching me, they know me in this town, they know me all over the place. Some of the things we see on the street, you need to see some of these security operatives, you need to see them in action. They will swoop on you, no matter what I say, they already bringing to you van, they're already picking your things, no matter grammar you want to say, except when you get to the office, when you not identify yourself, you not start to get panicky. It's unfortunate. The issue of fundamental human rights in this country, particularly in Edo State, is not what we see on paper. It's not what we see on paper. Nigerians will attest to what I'm saying. Okay, that woman selling bread at that junction, you want her to now be fighting maybe 3 hefty men who probably will have taken some enhancement in the morning before they come to that place. She cannot withstand them. And a mature, reasonable, peaceful citizen will not confront a madman, so to say. I'm not saying they are madmen. Somebody who suddenly swoop on you, and you know the Japanese is not supposed to do that. You just cool and get to where they are taking you to, and So to really enforce, to exercise your fundamental human right on the scene of the action is difficult, my brother. Except you want to apply violence for violence in that scene. Okay.
Now, you are from the human rights background,
yes.
And one would have thought that you guys would have also rolled out your drums, your gogs, and, to join government to in the crusade to fight the COVID-19. Yes. Because we're talking about awareness here.
Yes, yes.
And, of course, as a human rights activist, you owe it to the common man on the street, rights for him to be conscious of his rights to his life, to healthy life and all that. We've not seen any that coming from the human rights.
I must use this opportunity to commend one of our sister organizations, the Edo State Civil Liberties Organization, from what they are doing. They are everywhere. And the other human organization doing one thing, sensitization through social media and all that. But the issue of ignorance is still there. Some people, because of poverty has blinded some people. They don't hear nothing. So, okay, is it not somebody that has the wherewithal that even have an Android phone in the first place? If you have Android phone, some of these things are available there. You will see what is happening in Igbeben. You see what is happening in Orion or something. Yeah. I think our people are trying, and sometimes The government of the day will want to frustrate some of the efforts of the civil society organizations.
Okay.
Is there what I want to tell you on here? I don't want to mention names. You see what some of us go through? Do you know what some comrades did before the Edo State warehouse is even stopped?
Yeah, but I don't think if there's no government will want to frustrate your efforts, if your efforts are genuine,
sometimes government will come up and do some announcement and practically nothing on the ground. And when our people now beam their satellite, they discover that thing. In order for others to see that thing, they want to block you.
And you're allowed to be blocked.
But when they block you, they want to frustrate you with all sorts of things until when you now, they're behind the door, they will not start. You know what happened behind the scene before Edo State government woke up? I mean the word woke up.
Well,
so we are trying, Evans, we are being capacitated with a society, with a government that is fastly becoming for a few and everybody for himself. It's unfortunate. So I'm calling up politicians, the consultants efforts have said, let's save our people. Let's be our brothers' keepers. This is not only during election that will come out. Let's support Godwin Obaseki to get Edo State clear of COVID-19.
All right, that's a good one. A very big thank you to you there at Mawita Igbotako. Supporting the government is all we all need to do at this time so that we can fight COVID-19. And I need to also let you know that when we invite our guests here, their views are entirely their views. So when you say government, not doing enough and all that, I want to take that to the extent that it's your view. You have right to your own opinion.
Yes.
So it is certainly not the opinion of the station. As a matter of fact, we do not have opinion here. We just allow everybody and all, make their opinion so that you can be educated and enlightened as we get along, on what we do here. Well, a very big thank you. Thank
you, it's a pleasure.
I can shake your hand now.
People say it's a courtesy.
All right, so we'll take a short pause so that we join the Honorable Commissioner for Communication and Orientation in Edo State here, and also Honorable Desmond Ugbo. Let's look at some of the packages, some of the stimulus package, if you like, that the government has started giving out.